Well, welcome to Harlow FC TV, and we're really lucky to have Paul, the Vice Chairman of the club, with us as well. And Paul, I suppose there's been a lot of changes in the club in the last few weeks.
Yeah, Dave, there's been a lot going on, starting with Danny leaving the club after a long, successful period. Mark stepping into his shoes, different ideas, structures, players, so it has been a busy month. Yeah.
Big shock though when you heard the news, and I don't know if Danny came to you or went to the boss, but I mean, was it a bit of a sort of a shock, because I didn't see it coming from the outside in at the time?
It was a shock, because I'd have thought, knowing Danny as a dude, that he would probably have done something like that at the end of the season. But I just felt his, emotions had got the better of him and whatever, and he was just. Hard to say. I don't think he was as happy in the job as he had been in the past. So onwards and upwards, and we're trying to turn things around now.
Well, one of the questions came in from a gentleman called Keith Knight, and he's asked a question. I suppose it's a bit here or there sort of question, but he said, and I'll read you exactly what he's put on. He said, can you tell the fans why it took so long to make a change? And because it feels like a completely different football club. So I think what he means by that is, was the club looking to make a change with Danny, or before Danny handed his resignation in?
Well, firstly, no, they weren't. And so, in terms of taking a long time to move on with appointments, and that I would have thought that was probably quite quick, especially when it's just like. Flick of a switch where he's gone, it's good that we've got some continuity to some extent with Mark taking over, but Mark putting his own stamp on it with his own ideas as well, you play certain styles for a certain amount of time, and Mark's trying to do that a little bit differently and all that, and so that in itself is difficult, because mid-season and to an extent changing your style is not the easiest thing to do,
I mean, someone's asked as well, are we looking at publicising the club better in the local town, especially now we seem to be playing really attractive football?
Well, I'd have thought we want to publicise the club in the local town as much as possible, regardless of the style of football. If people are enjoying the football more, great. But we do as much as we can in terms of advertising the club. But there's limited budgets on everything that we can or can't do, and unfortunately, advertising does cost money. We've maybe stepped things up a little bit on the social media side, as you know yourself, being involved, and with John Jake Murphy getting involved, and hopefully using yours and his expertise and in Barham's, then via social media we should be able to step up another level.
And do you see the club really sort of moving forward very quickly now? I mean, is there sort of, I suppose, what I would assume what the fans probably wouldn't see, or people from the outside would see looking in, is the overheads and that there is inside the club, I mean, I suppose the pitch as well is one of those things that might be coming up for a renewal soon at some point in the next 2 or 3 years maybe, and other bits and bobs.
There's so many things where, and they are all unseen things pretty much, unlike the pitch, where, as an example, we're going, I don't suppose you've ever been in it, but there's a great big boiler room down there with about 8 pumps in there that are all going to need, a lot of them are going to need replacing. Well, the expense in that is as part and parcel of running the club, but as expenses goes, it's just another contributory factor to keeping the club going,
I suppose it's one of those things with all these unexpected bills that come in and everything that needs to be to day-to-day running of the club.
Yep.
It's that affects playing budgets and stuff like on the football side, but which people don't get to see that. They don't understand why maybe we're not taking the player that we used to have, not necessarily now, but previous.
Yep.
But mainly because there's actually the overheads are here that stuff needs to be done.
Well, yeah, I mean the overheads are what they are, and you know, different repairs that come along the way with it. That's part of trying to cope with keeping the club, and it's most important that the club's kept on an even keel. You know, we're not going to go out and do a billy-ricky because we can't do that. So we have to do it within the means that are available, and that's exactly what we're doing and what Mark's trying to work with.
And of course with yourself, and I know Tom's taken a little bit of a backward step and maybe more sort of pressure on yourself and Tim, but I mean is it a case of now are you sort of the main three gentlemen in the club? I mean, are you really pleased with where the club's going to now, and you know, with the youth sides, the ladies sides, and they seem to be doing really well with the ladies?
They are doing very well, yeah. You know, when you think how you mentioned the pitch earlier, you know, when you think how this club has changed since the pitch went down, and we are now much more a part of the community than we ever were, and we would never have achieved that without the pitch going down. I mean, I think, you know, when you look at planned budgets, it's going to be related to crowds, and our crowds aren't what they were 3-4 years ago. They're a long way off of that, whether that's partly pressure of TV, people going to Spurs, West Ham, Arsenal, Orient. They're all regularly doing cheap tickets and stuff like that. Well, that's a lot to compete with for ourselves, and plus we're stuck in an area of the town where there is no public transport, which doesn't really help things. So I think the club also needs help from the town, and when I say the town, obviously I mean you know, it'd be great having more people coming in the door, but it'd also be great if the council stood up a little bit more and got behind us a bit more.
Is that one of the biggest frustrations though for the club, that we're not getting the people through the door that you know that maybe that we used to? But I mean, and do you also feel that with you know, the way the teams play, a new manager come in, it all feels to me a little bit like a completely brand new start for the club?
It does feel like that, yeah, and hopefully you want to embrace that with optimism, always, and that's not a reflection on Danny at all, quite the reverse. But any new change, and this could be any level of football, you know, if you're a fan, which, and we all are fans, you want to be optimistic. You want success, you want to enjoy it, and you know, if that works out well between now and the end of the season, then that'll be great. You know, it really will.
And I know through knowing you for 2 or 3 years previously before, you very much, I would say, if somebody asked me to describe you, you're a fan first, vice chairman second. And I mean, how excited were you when you heard that, shall we say, the machine was on his way back?
Yeah, I was I was pleased, because all my memories of Alex playing here are great, you know, and I remember playing, I think it was last year or the year before, away at Tonbridge Angels, and he's playing against us, and it's just good to see him, and with him coming back, it almost sort of feels like he belongs here. And you know, I thought, looking at today's game, I thought we had a decent game, Alex. You know, I just felt like we were actually holding the ball up front a little bit better than maybe we have been, you know.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things I've noticed, it seems to be, we've said at the beginning of the chat that there's been a lot of changes and it feels like a lot of things are moving forward, etc. But it seems to be a couple of constants, other than, you know, the likes of yourself and Jill and Tim and stuff like that. But when you look at fans, and I might be wrong in saying this because there might be more than what I know, but there's sort of the constants of the 2 young men on the gate. You've got little Ray putting up his flags, and I mean, somebody like Ray, shall we say, he is a massive asset for this club, isn't he? I mean, you know, you can hear him over everybody else. He comes here, puts his flags up. Is that not what you want to see? Get little Ray, get the others to come back and have that big band over there again?
The more people that come back and the better the atmosphere, then everyone's a winner, because you know, the players are going to enjoy that more themselves. You know, you've got the pictures up on the wall of when we won the playoff against Hornchurch. Well, you know, as a day and as enjoyment and the look on the players' faces and the fans' faces, well, that is what it's all about. It's what you want, you know. So.
I mean, do you think the club would? I mean, somebody else said he's earning more old faces going to be coming back. I don't suppose you may know, you may not know, but I mean, would you? Is there any sort of old faces that you'd like to see come back?
I'm not really.
I'll fox you that one.
You have foxed me on that one. Yeah.
Somebody like like a Fabian or a Lane Eady or somebody like that. Those two are the ones that sort of stick out to me.
Yeah, Fabian, I thought always did a great job for us in midfield. He was ridiculously consistent. You know, he never let the side down ever. Lane, I enjoyed it while he was here. You know, we didn't want to lose either of them, and the way it works out. But then, you know, you got. Well, no, he hasn't played left back the last few games, but where Yannick's been playing left back, and he's developed really well, and he's a cracking footballer and still developing. You know, so there's pleasure in that as well. You can't always go back, but I suppose we all have different, like yourself with Reedy, but we all have different sort of personal favourites, and it is good to see them back. And I think my time in the club, I can remember many players who have come back to the club, which I think is a big compliment to the club, that they feel that they're happy to do that. So they must have had good times all over here.
There's one thing, I suppose, the last question for you, and because I know you don't like doing things like this, so, you know, but it's what kind of difference to the club has Tim made? I mean, Tim's he's coming in, he's worked full time, he's the CEO of the club. I mean, what sort of changes and what sort of things has he done to sort of move this club forward? Because to me, it looks like from the outside in, again, it looks like he's done an absolutely incredible job.
Completely correct. Yeah, he's done an incredible job. He's also done a huge job. And it's back to a lot of behind the scenes things as well, you know, that are going on day in, day out. And, you know, he's a workaholic. He's more than happy to get his hands dirty doing whatever he's doing. And the club is very, very lucky to have him, you know. And long may that be the case. Because otherwise I'll have to start working hard.
And the boss will have to give up on getting his suntan as well.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, of course, we can't not mention Jill. I mean, Jill's a big asset to this club. Jill's been here since we moved into the new stadium to now.
No, absolutely, huge asset. Great person to have around in lots and lots of different ways. Team player, great with her customers and the events. Yeah, she's a treasure, and God bless her. She'll be getting married in April. So.
Well, there you go. So I didn't know that. There's news.
No,
I didn't know.
a little bit of breaking news.
So what about? I know you're on the sort of sponsorship side. I mean, are we actively looking for a new sponsor for the shirts and for the ground?
Yeah, we are. It's I'll say in my time of doing it, it's the hardest it's been. And what I'm trying to do now is build different partnerships rather than a sponsorship with some of the bigger companies in Harlow, where we've already got a relationship with them, such as they may advertise with us, they might use us for their Christmas parties or their awards evenings, such as last night with HTS, those type of things. So we're trying to build, as I say, a partnership with them rather than us, the old-fashioned sponsor, you know, where you ask for money, you take the money, and then you don't go back and see them until next year. Well, that's not good enough. You've got to try and have a bit more guts to it than that, and that's what we're trying to create. But it's not an easy one. More sponsors, more money, bigger gates, yeah. Please.
Well, listen, Paul, we appreciate you coming on there today, and of course we wish you and all the rest of the senior staff all the best as well for the rest of the season, and hopefully we'll get to speak to you again soon.
Pleasure, Dave, and good to have you back as well.
Thanks very much indeed. Thanks, mate.
Cheers, Dave.